and this could be one of the most exciting players in the league. But I mean, guys that are 6'7", Tim, they're not a lot of comps out there for them.
Aaron Judge.
It's a totally different body type, though.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, so Aaron Judge's got the small arms, and he's just a gigantic man. And then you've got O'Neal Cruz, who's much more athletic, long arms and long legs, and it's just they're different. They're both. I think O'Neal Cruz is probably taller than Judge. I'd like to see him side by side. That'd be kind of funny. But
a pitcher with Altuve in the middle.
Exactly. But Cruz is exciting. I mean, I still, if there's nobody that I'm really interested from a pitching standpoint in, I'll turn over and watch the Pittsburgh Pirates play to see O'Neal Cruz hit. I mean, I think it's exciting. So.
I agree. We're now into our top 14. You want to take a final break and come back and finish it off, or you want a few more players?
Nope. Let's do that. I'll finish it off in 10 minutes, Tim. So
sounds good.
A lot of the guys top 10 are major leaguers. So.
Yeah, we've already discussed this.
Plus, you make a top 25, you're good. So I mean. Should Francisco Alvarez be at 8? Yeah, I probably should. I mean, I don't know, Timmy. I mean, it's so hard when you get this high. They're all really good players.
Yeah, I have Gunnar Henderson rostered in DL5. I think it should be number 1. But
I mean, you can make an argument, Timmy. He could be number 1. You absolutely can make that argument. So.
Okay. Francisco Alvarez. When do we see him?
Next season.
We're not going to see him this year.
I mean, we could. I mean, anything can happen, but I mean, it's just starting AAA. I mean, if he goes all crazy in the first 3 weeks here and just hits 6 home runs and bats 380, yeah, you could see him. But I think the smart thing, he's still young, Tim. He's only 20 years old.
I know, he's just a baby. He's just a kid.
And I mean, do you put him into the middle of a pennant race? I mean, you can argue, yes, what great exposure for him. Then he might get overwhelmed for the moment. You can't lose any games because Atlanta's playing really well. I don't know, Tim. They don't seem to need any offense. So.
No, they don't right now. You're right. At number 13, I'm going to change your description marginally, but if I had any intestinal fortitude, I would have him at number 1 on the pitcher list, and we're talking about Yuri Perez.
Yeah, I just didn't have the guts. I mean, I got a little wimpy with Grayson Rodriguez and Shane Baz. I think Shane Baz is clearly the number 1 still eligible prospect, but Grayson Rodriguez is disappointing what happened to him. But I mean, Yuri Perez is crazy stuff, Tim, and height and everything. It's all lined up for him to be a 1.
Yeah, and I don't think we see him as a teenager in the bigs, but we're going to see him at 20, I think.
Yeah, I mean, look, Miami's really good at this, Tim. They just are.
Yeah, they just can't develop the bats.
No, they can't. It's just a really good point. Look, I love Jazz Chisholm. He's worked out, but hopefully that's not like, let's just bring in a bunch of guys with the skill set of Jazz Chisholm and they're all turned into him. That's a mistake because most of them won't. Jazz Chisholm is special. So.
Well, yeah, they've got to reach that happy point. And, it's not like they haven't been able to in the past. Christian Yelich was a Marlin. Giancarlo Stanton was a Marlin. They have developed.
It's of recent vintage, though. Yeah. It's of recent vintage. They were doing well, and then it was really after Derek Jeter bought the team that I don't know if they kept the same scouts. I don't think they did. And it just doesn't.
They all got a fruit basket.
I got a fruit basket, and they went with huge upside. I mean, they traded Zach Allen, who was a really good pitcher and more conservative, for Jazz Chisholm. They swung for the fences, and it seems to have worked. But I just worry if they do that with everybody, it's not going to work. So.
Yeah. Here's a kid that I am really high on, and I love what I'm seeing at the big league level. And at number 12, you got Michael Harris.
Yeah, he's not been lost, Timmy, and I see him as a number 2 outfielder, maybe even better than that. I totally agree. I always liked him better than Drew Water. It's just disappointing with Drew Waters just kind of stubbed his toe. Hopefully we see him, but Harris is going to be very, very good. He is good. So
Yeah. Top 10. I was going to say in the top 10 rounds next spring.
could be, yeah, could be. Now, should he be higher on this list? I mean, yeah. But
Well,
how do you put him ahead of any of these other guys? So
well, exactly. Yeah. Robert Hassel, we've already discussed.
he's going to
Power
hit,
speed,
Timmy.
OBP,
He's going to
yes.
hit. He's going to be very good. I'd be disappointed. In any of these guys if they don't make it.
Right. Gunnar Henderson taking a huge step onwards and upwards. We're going to see him next year, aren't we?
I got a chance to see him this year, Tim. I was blown away. I was actually blown away by his physicality. He's bigger than I thought he was. He's a big dude and can really hit. And that was always, if you take a look at what he did prior to this year, there was some swing and miss concern, but he's really stopped that. And he's just walking as much as he's striking out. You can make the argument this should be the number one prospect in the game. So
Well, I was going to say, when you start looking at minor league player of the year, if you're not talking Ruiz, Gunnar Henderson has to be in the discussion, doesn't he?
I think it's going to come down between Gunnar Henderson, Ruiz, Jordan Walker possibly, and Corbin Carroll. So
Okay.
those four guys to me have really done remarkable things. So
Okay, at number 9 we got Grayson Rodriguez. It looked like he was heading to Baltimore, and then the injury.
I mean, I think his next start was going to be in Baltimore. So that really blows for him. So
Oh, big time, yes.
there's not
Number
much
8.
more to say. He's really good,
Yeah.
Tim. I mean, look, I still worry that he's not pitching too deep into games. Don't know why. Are they afraid that he'll get beat up third time through the lineup? Maybe. So become a Jake Odorizzi type guy? Maybe. But it's all pointing north for him.
Yeah, at number 8 you've got Gabriel Moreno. See, Adley Rutschman was slightly less power.
I think he's going to hit with some power, Tim. I think he's going to be very good. So
Well, based on what we've seen early on, the kid's also got a good arm.
Yeah.
I've seen. Yeah, he can handle a throw to second base very, very well, can't he?
yes, he can.
Okay, moving onwards and upwards. At number 7, we have Anthony Volpe of the New York Yankees. Yeah, you take a look, okay, and April 197 batting average, May 207, June 298. Slow start. But if you look what he's done from June 1st on, it's been some impressive, hasn't it?
You can flat out look at his ground ball rate to line drive rate. They've reversed. So he's hitting more balls on the ground and not hitting as many line drives, and that's the whole reason his batting average is down. Speed is still there. There's enough pop there. It's everything else. He plays with his hair on fire. I've seen this guy play a ton, so there's just a lot to like. And I think that, look, guys get into a rut sometimes, start hitting the ball on the ground. That's easily correctable. And based on what I've seen, Tim, I can't believe that's not something that he can adjust to. I mean, he's a young kid in Double-A, and you got to be encouraged that he's improving as the year goes on. So, if anybody that says Anthony Volpe is not going to be a star, now you can have him. Please take him. It's the right move.
Do we see either Peraza or Volpe this year?
Peraza, you mean?
Peraza, sorry.
I don't think you see Volpe. I don't think there's no chance that Volpe comes up, particularly after the start he had. But Peraza, I mean, if somebody gets hurt, if Kiner Falefa, who's been actually pretty good for them, gets hurt, I think you could see Peraza. I think that guy's good. He's going to get lost, and I worry what his career is going to wind up being, just because Volpe's going to pass him next year, just because he's Volpe. But Peraza's good, and I'm afraid he's going to get lost in the shuffle here.
Okay, at number 6, we're going back to St. Louis, and one Jordan Walker. He's not flying under the radar anymore, is he?
Isn't for me, but he's not talked about as one of the best prospects in the game, and I don't know why. Maybe because he plays in the he doesn't play on the coast somewhere, so doesn't play for the Dodgers or the Rays or maybe the Yankees, that they really promote their minor league players. But 7 home runs, 15 stolen bases, 312, 404, 500 in Double-A, and he is 20 years old.
Wow,
20 years old, turned 20 in May.
It sounds like he deserves the respect you're giving him.
Yeah, I mean it's
Right.
Look, I mean it's huge raw power, right? So this is a guy with 30 home runs. If you tell me that down the road there's 15 stolen bases turn into 5, look, he's going to fill out and get bigger and slow down.
Oh, sure.
But he's going to hit with, it's going to be big time power. It's Nolan Arenado type of upside. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, our top 5 commences with a number 2 starter in Tampa Bay and Shane Baz. McClanahan and Baz, that's a pretty dynamite one too.
Don't forget the tall guy that's coming back from Tommy John surgery. What's his face?
Oh, Tyler, I can never stay.
Yeah, Tyler Glasnow. Yeah. I mean that. Throw those 3 guys out there. Throw in a little Luis Patino. Some other guys out. I mean, it's
one of their 17 relief pitchers on an opener type day, and you got a good core group there.
Yeah, you throw in Josh Lowe and Wander Franco and Curtis Mead. They should be good. I mean, for years to come. I mean, it's just a pipeline that's ready to roll now. Shane Baz, unfortunately, won't have Tommy John surgery, or McClanahan the same way. I mean, and they'll be on a run here for the next 3 or 4 years. Could be very exciting.
Yeah, and you know what? 2 years from now, we'll be talking about the new crop of Rays. It's just an ever-ending pipeline of talent in Tampa Bay. At number 4,
by the way, I'm not going to predict Shane Baz is going to be better than Shane McClanahan, because Shane McClanahan is one of the best pitchers in the game at the moment.
Yeah, right.
But he's in the team pitcher, Tim. Shane Baz has a chance to be very, very good. So sometimes you get lost when the other guy on your team is so good. It's like, it's Shane Baz, and you just kind of don't. This guy has a chance to be a 1. So it's okay to have 2 1s.
You could have 2 1s.
Yeah. So it's like, he's just a 2, so I'll throw him in all the 2s. No, don't do that. So I think he has a chance to be very, very good.
Okay, at number 4 we have Corbin Carroll. After a disappointing 2021 ruined by injury, we're starting to see the Corbin Carroll that was cause for him being so high on so many of our lists.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing is he's not a big guy, right? So there's some concern that he turns into Andrew Benintendi, right? So that's always, I've heard two evaluators tell me that was the concern at the draft table. Now everybody's like, well, he's doing it, and it's not, I guess we shouldn't be too concerned. He's not a big guy, and Andrew Benintendi, last I looked, was 2 home runs and a sub 400 slug. So. But Corbin Carroll's got exciting skills. I just wish he was a little bit bigger, but he's not. I mean, he's not going to grow. So
that's it. That's all. At number 3, we have C.J. Abrams. I think I'd be lying if I said I'm not disappointed by what I've seen, but the kid's young, and everything's in place for him to be an elite player, isn't it?
Yeah, I said his debut was meh. It's okay. He didn't strike out. He wasn't overwhelmed at the plate. I mean, he didn't hit very much, but if you take a look, it was a 20% strikeout rate, so all that stuff was pretty reasonable. I think he's going to be just fine. And he's got elite speed. So from a fantasy standpoint, once he starts to get playing at the top of the lineup, I think that stuff's going to show. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, top of the order of Abrams and Ruiz would be sort of exciting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be. We'll see. Ruiz is a mystery to me. I just don't know yet. I mean, I can't wait to see him in the big leagues. I hope it happens soon.
Yep, you and me both. At number 2, injuries derailed the start to his season, and the first month was pretty much bleh. But over the past 2-3 weeks, we're starting to see the Adley Rutschman that we thought we were going to see, and it's some exciting. He is playing some really good baseball right now, and I think he could be within 2 years the number 1 catcher in the game.
Yep, I can't add more. That guy's very good. So, and he's just got confidence, Timmy. He
Yeah.
knows he's good. Everybody around him knows he's good. I mean, it's just he's the alpha male out there, and that's what you want in a leader and one of the best. Has a chance to be one of the best baseball players in the game. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think he goes off the board as a top 5 catcher next year, easily.
I agree.
Yep. And at number 1, we